Halfway through this edition of Trailblazers Courtside, and certainly the prominence of the panel has taken a step up now, because it's Brian Wheeler, Antonio Harvey, joined by our old friend Chris Haynes, now working for the Cleveland Plain Dealer, back at the table that gave him the notoriety and fame that he now enjoys.
We all got to start somewhere.
Well, I tell you what, he took it and ran with it. That's for sure. And now he's got the wonderful opportunity to be with LeBron and company each and every day. And I remember, first of all, welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
And I remember talking to some friends who used to travel with the Bulls during the Michael Jordan days, and they said it was like being around a rock group that basically every day was just idolized, adulation wherever they went. Besides the normal amount of adulation that you receive when you go anywhere, have you found that to be true in the early part of your tenure covering the Cavs?
Yeah, it's definitely different. Just from the standpoint of, when I'm covering just coverage, when I'm covering the Blazers, the Blazer fan base, they're so interested in players 1 through 15. And so me as a reporter here, I try to make sure I had a gauge on each player, what they were thinking and whatnot. Over there in Cleveland, they just care about LeBron James. If you don't have anything on LeBron James, get something on LeBron James, try. Then if not, if all else fails, Kyrie and then Kevin Love. So it's just the coverage over there is just different to where LeBron James, he's bigger than basketball. So he may talk about, hey, I went to the movies and seen this. I got to write a story about it, because if LeBron's going to see that movie, then it must be interesting, according
so now you got to go see a movie.
Now I got to go check it out myself to make sure it's right, So it's just different. The guy, he talks about other things than just basketball, and oftentimes it's newsworthy. So that's just the difference aspects as far as covering the team.
But are you having fun, though?
Oh, no.
I know that's your job. You love it, but are you having fun doing it?
Yeah, I'm having fun. It's definitely, it was definitely a tough decision from the standpoint that I was comfortable here. I had, roots here, and this is where I got my start here with the Blazers in Portland, Comcast Sportsnet, giving me the opportunity. So I'm definitely happy. It's a bigger stage. You got more eyeballs on you and more notoriety. So from that standpoint, I'm happy. And the guys are cool, too. The access is a little different compared to over here, but I'm good. LeBron, those guys, Kyrie, great group of guys. So, yeah, I'm thrilled.
Well, I'm sure you've heard what happened. I mean, Dwight's not well. I mean,
right.
this is, your old partner. I mean, fortunately he's on the mend now, but I mean, this is shaking up everybody here at Comcast.
Yeah, everybody thought I was the one that pushed him down those stairs.
See, that's just wrong. Just wrong.
Fortunately, you were not at the scene.
I wasn't here. I was miles and miles away. But now I'm gonna go see my guy tomorrow, and he is doing well. So
good. Give him our best. Absolutely.
So most interesting thing you've learned about LeBron James, because, we all watched him from afar, but now you've had a chance to really interact with him. I've heard a million stories about not just him as a basketball player, but he has a tremendous intellect, and not just about basketball. What's the most interesting thing you found out about him?
Just from a standpoint, just looking at him from afar, realizing that, once I got there, he's bigger than basketball, especially in Cleveland, man. He has all types of strategies geared towards improving the community and the school systems down there. He's really plugged into that community in Northeast Ohio. And when I got there, the opening night, Cavs-Knicks, ended up losing that game. That kind of took away the luster off the day, but man, it was thousands and thousands of people. They weren't going to the game. They just wanted to be in the environment to feel something like that. And I remember how I felt on that day. I felt it was similar for me to when Barack Obama was inaugurated for the first time. I felt like I had to be there.
Right.
It felt like it was history. That was the same. I'd never felt that way before until that LeBron James, is how everybody, they just wanted to be there. It was freezing cold, but everybody just wanted to be in that whole downtown area was just flooded with people just celebrating and enjoying. That just shows me how much LeBron James means to that city.
And I don't like to toot my own horn, toot, but I believe somebody gave you the up on that, like in February of last year. I believe somebody might have slid you a little nugget right there. Hey, man, he might be headed back to.
Did I use that nugget? Because I don't remember.
You should have.
I should have. I don't remember ever hearing it.
No, he said on the air. I remember thinking, it's better than some of the predictions that you're going to hear in a little bit. but that was
Is that right?
I
thought I told you that.
That might be as good a scoop as he's had.
When we played the Cavs last year in Cleveland,
hit that game winner.
I thought we had talked about that. I had spoken to someone who was in his inner circle, and they told me he's coming back.
Is that right? No, I don't remember that at all.
Oh, well, I tried to give you the up. I always try to look out for you like that, man. But
he was breaking another story because he
probably was. He did. He was.
But that was a good one.
That was one of my better moments.
Yeah, that would have made me right there.
I think you were already made, with some other good ones. But now, sometimes on teams or in any group where one person gets the lion's share of the attention, there's some hidden jealousies. Do you sense that everybody else on the team is okay with LeBron being the focal point of not only what goes on the court, but they're really willing to say, hey, you can have all the attention off the court if you want it.
Yeah, no, I think everybody's okay because
except Deion Waiters.
Well. I love Deion. That's my guy. Well, I'll tell you about Deion. But I think for the most part, everybody's okay because now they're getting the exposure that they weren't getting
a
couple years ago. So he's putting them on the map. Tristan Thompson talked about that. He's coming off a game where he had 12 offensive rebounds in one game. He's talked about, man, now I'm getting to just showcase my talent. People can see that I'm a better player than what they probably thought before. So they like it. They're embracing it. It's still going to be, we still have to look for shot attempts. I'm talking about those three big guys and how they're going to play out because I talked to Kevin Love, had an exclusive with him the last preseason game, and he was talking to me about touches that he's not getting inside. He's not, he wants to get more touches inside. And Coach Blatt's system is designed to have guys spread out because, you got a lot of guys that can, maneuver in the lane and get to the bucket. So Kevin, they've been working things out, but I don't think it's a problem now, but down the line, it may become an issue.
But you know what, though? I'll say this about Kevin. I've been shocked at his productivity, considering the situation he's been put in and how much of a change this is for him. He's managed to find a way to be successful despite having to literally change everything about his game.
And it's unfortunate because, he's a star player, so he's going to produce regardless. But it's unfortunate because of the position he plays. He's going to be relegated to a third option because you have LeBron James and Kyrie Irving who dominate the ball. And for big guys, you play the position. You have to depend on those guards to get you the ball and scoring opportunities. So, realistically, Kevin Love is a top 10 player in this league. Kyrie Irving may be a top 15. But just based on positions, he's going to be probably the third option. And in a lot of times, with my guy Deion Waiters, he may be that fourth option.
But I'll say this, though. Because of the way he plays, I don't think there's a better player in the league suited to be a third or fourth option because he'll go get an offensive rebound.
Yeah.
Or he'll float out to the three-point line and hit a shot. So, I look at it, 17 shots a game. That's really nothing to laugh at, but he's probably going to make 10 or 12 of those because they're going to be open looks or they're going to be offensive rebounds.
Exactly, and I think I think Chris Bosh, his playing style fit well playing with LeBron James. Kevin Love is going to do the same thing, but Kevin Love's a better rebounder. He's a better offensive rebound. He's going to get 4 or 6 points on his own just based off the board. So, no, I agree with you wholeheartedly there.
Now, you mentioned Coach Blatt. Here's a guy that's in the NBA not only for the first time as a head coach, first time as any kind of coach, but a lot of respect for what he's done elsewhere. How do you sense that he's fitting in obviously a very unique situation and one where he's inheriting, maybe the best player, to come along in a long, long time in this league?
He's doing good so far. One thing I like about him is he's real personable. He makes sure he knows everybody's name, media members, players, and whatnot. And so that helps with the transition of having never coached in the NBA, having guys, be fond of you because the players, they love him. They like talking with him. He jokes around. And he has a very unique personality. So from that standpoint, I think he's won that battle right now. Now, he's won over 600 games, coaching overseas. He knows how to coach. It's going to be an adjustment for superstar players because he runs a motion offense, which is good. And I think it's really going to be beneficial for this team. But guys like LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, every now and then you got to give them the opportunity, the space to break that mold and let them do them because, this is the NBA and A lot of times, one-on-ones or isolations or pick and rolls, you got to implement those in. So I want to see how he's going to adjust throughout the season.
Well, I'll tell you what, he could be in L.A. with the Lakers right now. He can implement whatever the hell he wants. Just do whatever you want, Coach.
Hey, check this out. You mentioned that. Check this out. Earlier in camp, right, somebody asked LeBron, they was like, hey, LeBron, don't you feel it's just too much pressure for Black to, because he has you and Kevin Love and Kyrie on his team, and this is his first NBA game. Isn't that a lot of pressure for him? LeBron was like, no, it could be more pressure if he didn't have me, or Kevin Love, or Kyrie.
Exactly. Could be in L.A. with the Lakers.
So I definitely agree with you there.
Yes, pressure is a subjective thing, as we know. All right, we're visiting with Chris Haynes. Still to come, our season predictions. We'll take a look at who we think is going to be the playoff teams in the West and the East, who's going to make the finals in the West and the East, who's going to win the NBA championship. So we have a few predictions to pass.
I got the best predictions ever.
Yeah, we'll find out. And we'll continue to visit with our good friend Chris Haynes, now the Cleveland Plainview. He's the enemy now, but we still kind of like him. It's the Blazers and the Cavs tomorrow night. Right now, it's Trailblazers Courtside, and we'll continue in just a moment. We are simulcast on Comcast Sportsnet, the Blazers Radio Network, and stream live at trailblazers.com. How did they take that picture of us, Tom? I can tell from the backdrop it was one flagship radio station ago. But
Well, I'm going to tell you what, though. Now, I can't speak for you because I just can't, but I can speak for me.
yeah.
I was damn handsome then. I am more handsome today. Jeez, Lou. I didn't know how much better looking I was getting as I got older.
But now you're in a sweater there now. See, now what people, maybe if they didn't listen to our last couple of broadcasts, maybe they don't know. I don't even know if Chris knows this, that you have made a commitment to wear a different bow tie for all 82 games in the regular season
and the postseason,
beyond, of course.
Yeah, and the postseason,
beyond, of course. And somebody stepped up to help in that respect, right?
Boyer and Fletcher, local company that makes bow ties, said, "Hey, you know what? You want to do 82 bow ties in 82 games? We got that."
I thought you were already doing that.
No, not 82 different bow ties.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, 82 different bow tie / pocket square combinations over the course of the 82
You still got
games.
that wooden bow tie?
Yeah, I got my wooden bow tie, man. Whoever gets rid of a wooden bow tie, I'll break it
I don't
out.
know where you can find something like that at, man.
I'm industrious like that.
But you can only wear it once.
I was sitting in there with a saw.
Something else, man.
Hey, we should get to our predictions and let's see
I
what
wanna hear
Chris,
this. I wanna
let's see
hear
what
this
Chris
stuff,
thinks
man.
of these predictions. So, Mike and Mike gave theirs last week, so we're looking at the 8 playoff teams in the West,
Yes.
8 in the East. The 2 teams getting to the conference finals, the 2 teams getting to the NBA finals. Who's going to be the eventual champ? How many games will the Blazers win, and who will be the MVP? Those are the things we're.
I'll let you go first with the ref because yours are going to be. I'm going to pull a Mike Rice. Let you go first because yours are going to be messed up, and then I'll come in right behind you and fix the whole problem.
Yeah, and I just I don't know.
I can already see a major
Now,
glitch.
had I known that I could wait, 3-4 games into the season to make predictions, then maybe I might make them a little differently.
Wow.
Because I already see that there's a team,
I
there's a
see
team
it's a
absent
team. Exactly.
from the
That's
West.
the first thing I saw, Will.
And I know in the preseason there was a talk about a team in the West making the playoffs that I don't see on Tone's list now. So
Wow.
there's been some doctoring done. So anyway.
I need you to show me some sort of proof of what you're talking about.
I can't. I could play some audio.
No,
maybe,
Will's
but,
did the same thing.
But I've got, and I don't know why every year I want to downgrade the Spurs. You'd think I'd know by now, but I elevated the Blazers to 3rd. This was, of course, made before. See, now I know from Tone's prediction that he clearly has taken into account the recent rash of injuries for the Thunder.
What are you talking about? I always said they could.
With Durant and Westbrook to finish.
Yeah, sure.
Wait till you see where Tone has him, and then you tell me if he made that prediction 2 weeks ago when we were asked to make it. The captain is my witness, of course. The captain is so I got the Pelicans. Some people don't have the Pelicans even making the playoffs. I got them actually being 6th. So I don't have the Suns getting in again. In the East, I got the Bulls over the Cavaliers. Again, I don't know. I guess I was trying to find some reason not to take Cleveland. I got the Wizards pretty high. The Nets I was unsure about, but I got them sneaking in. So those are my playoff teams. Now, turn the page to Tone's predictions. And then remember now, mine.
We're
going all the way. Okay. So I got the Clippers and Blazers in the conference finals with the Clippers winning, Bulls and Clippers in the finals, and the Bulls winning, Blazers winning 52 games, and LeBron being the MVP. So those are all of mine. Now, turn the page, and or unless we want to have Chris evaluate.
Yeah, Chris, what do you think about
what do you
those
think
predictions
of those predictions
from Wheels?
In case you don't remember them, that's
No, it's fine. Both of you guys, I just looked off. I ain't gonna mention the team, but both of y'all left off a team here. I think y'all did.
Which conference?
The Western Conference.
The West. Let's see. So the Suns.
The Lakers?
Oh, the Rockets. Yeah, I left off the Rockets. Yeah, I'm a little worried about that. They're off to a pretty good start.
I'm not a fan.
They're off to a pretty good start.
I see that.
I'm not a fan. I felt like the Chandler Parsons move sent them backwards a step.
Yeah, but I think Trevor Ariza could be a better piece than Chandler Parsons.
Oh,
but
no.
I don't think they have, and I think they lose a lot with Jeremy Lin not being.
I agree there.
And Ashik. I think I think I'm not sure they replace those pieces.
And they haven't really beaten anybody yet. They've beaten some bad teams. I want to see them when they face a good team. That'll change. I could be wrong. I mean, it's not the first time it might be the first time I've been wrong.
It was a bit of a gamble. Gamble on my part, and most people didn't. But so all right, now remember those selections were made by me about 2 weeks ago. We were asked to have our selections, but for some reason they weren't turned in. I sent
the email. It bounced back. The email kept bouncing back.
Oh, it bounced back.
I click send, and then it would.
It's like my key card.
I would get the send, and then it would just come back. I don't understand it.
So it was obviously a technical glitch of some sort. So based on that. But 2 weeks ago, now see if you are believing. This could be circumstantial evidence, but see if you believe that these picks that you're about to see were made 2 weeks ago by Tone. We look at his.
I don't understand what the problem is.
Oh, look at the Thunder, seventh in the. Everybody had him seventh in the West. That's
looks about right to me.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I seem to remember the Lakers. I thought you said the Lakers are going to make the playoffs, and now I don't see.
No, remember
Lakers
I told you I was talking to Michael Thompson, and he was feeling down and out, and I was trying to make him feel better. So I said, "Yeah, of course you guys will make."
We all know Kevin Durant was going to digress. One of these.
Oh yeah.
This year.
It had
this
to happen.
Literally, he felt they were going to miss Topo Cephalosha so much that they were going to go all the way to seventh.
I got an email that's saying he was having some foot problems. He was having some. So at any rate, I got the Spurs, the Clippers, and the Warriors, and it's a bit of a misnomer because the Clippers and the Warriors technically cannot. They can both be in the top four. The Blazers will get in by virtue of winning the Northwest Division. They'll be a top four team. Not sure if the record will be a top four record. But then the Mavericks, and I think the Mavericks may have a better record, but they can't be in the top four by virtue of the Northwest Division title.
A division winner can't be
out of the top four, exactly. Okay. The Grizzlies, the Thunder, and the Pelicans. The reason that I didn't choose Houston is because if you look at it, there are three other teams from that division in the playoffs. The Pelicans, I think the Pelicans are a better team than the Rockets right now. I think that the Mavericks are a better team. The Grizzlies are a better team, and the Spurs. There's four teams from that division, and it's the toughest division in basketball. And I think all four of those teams get in. I think Houston.
I agree it's the toughest division in basketball, but I don't believe.
So who would you knock off? The Pelicans?
Knock off New Orleans. I would knock off the Grizzlies.
Well, you don't really know because you're in the Eastern Conference now.
So the 4 or 5 years I spent over here doesn't mean anything.
That East Coast bias is already acquired.
Exactly. now, in the East, I've got the Bulls over the Cavs. I think that's going to be extremely tight. I am one of the few people in the world who still think the Heat, despite losing LeBron James, still a very good team.
I had them pretty high. No, I had them in the bottom part. Huh?
A very good team in a very weak division. They've got Atlanta, they've got Charlotte, they've got Orlando, and I couldn't even remember who the fifth team in the division
very
was.
Weak conference. Let's throw the
conference. So for me that was a big factor. Then I looked at Toronto. Toronto's got to deal with Boston. They've got to deal with some pretty good teams, the two New York teams. So Toronto's going to have a little bit, but I think they win their division. I think Charlotte finishes fifth. Indiana, despite the losses they have, I just think they have enough talent to get in the weak East. Yeah. I'm a little bit suspect on a couple of teams, though, Boston, Detroit versus over Washington. But then we'll move on to, let's see here, the Western Conference Finals, the Spurs and the Clippers. I think the Clippers are going to be too athletic this year. The Clippers are just so freaking athletic. I like the Bulls. I like Derrick Rose. If he's healthy and the Bulls make it to the NBA Finals. It is a big if.
He already left the game with ankle sprains already.
It's a big if. But if he's healthy, in order for this screen to work out, Derrick Rose has to be the MVP. I mean, that's just kind of what it is, Chris.
God,
look, I stepped out there on the limb.
Step out there, boy.
And if you're gonna step out, you got to step all the way. LeBron James, if the Cavs make it to the Western Conference Finals, if the Cavs
they can't make it to the Western Conference,
Eastern Conference Finals, very good point.
It's the minor detail.
If the Cavs have the best record in the East, there's no doubt in my mind LeBron is the MVP. But if it's the Bulls, it'll be because of Derrick Rose. And I think for that reason alone, I think they give it to him.
Don't you think it's LeBron's MVP to lose?
I definitely think so.
Yeah.
Not if the Bulls win the East.
I think they can win the East without Derrick Rose.
Oh no, I don't know. I ain't gonna get beside myself now. I think that might be
pretty good
that's a limb that I'm not willing to step out. I have stepped out on a limb, but you have gone to like the area where the leaves grow, where the little bitty skinny limbs, the branches. I'm not stepping on the branch. I'm on a limb. You're on a branch.
On that front line, Chicago's front line, man, with
It's
Paul
tremendous.
Gasol and Taj Gibson coming off that bench.
Taj Gibson is a monster, isn't he?
Yeah,
You get to see him a lot.
I like Chicago.
You know, he's a Louisiana guy. Grew up around the same area I grew up.
Is that right?
Yeah. That's why he's got that athleticism. That's how we do it. We brew athleticism. Gumbo and athleticism. That's what we do in the dirty.
In that order.
In that order.
Well, I hope you know, we both said Chicago was going to win last year, and that didn't work out so well. So apparently we didn't learn anything, but we'll find out. So I didn't even see Mike and Mike's predictions, so I don't know how they compare. But I
It
know
doesn't matter. Mine.
the captain will keep them all hermetically sealed. But I never thought you'd pull a Rice and just sneak them in at the who did? The captain said what?
Didn't pick the Heat to
the
make
right.
the playoffs.
So he's already wrong.
Rice didn't even have Miami.
Way off on a.
But he did have Golden. I know he had Golden State to win the West. Now they're going out on a limb.
Oh, again,
That's on the branches right there.
He's way out on the branch. He might be sitting on a leaf.
In fact, I think the gardener's cutting the tree, and he's in danger of falling over. I mean,
He's got one of those chainsaws on an extension. Yang, 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 yang.
he keeps moving the part that has
I think he's like the cartoons of Bugs Bunny, how they're just in the air right now, just pause. They're pausing.
The tree's already fallen. He's just in there. Uh-oh. He's holding up the sign.
Somebody artist is going to draw something soft for him to land on back end. Oh my goodness. All right, we'll come back and wrap things up with Chris having some fun on Trailblazers Courtside and